In an age of silent screens and automated fields, we are told the harvest is over, that the best of us has already been plucked from the tree of human endeavor, and all that remains is the idle scroll. But what if that is not the end of the story? What if the first harvest was never meant to be the last? There is a gathering happening, quiet against the current, a first fruit called and set apart. And their sacred purpose is not to retreat, but to call, to send out a signal from the sanctuary into the heart of the modern Babylon. This is the prophecy of the two harvests. This is the story of the remnant who becomes the beacon and the sleeping multitude who will awaken to the sound of their name. Prepare to see the unseen gathering.
Know that we have seen the two kinds of time. The time where knowledge had increased in so much so that it is decreasing now. Why do I say that? Because of the loss of jobs for the young people. When you listen to the news would tell you that the majority of the young people that is coming out from university right now with a big loan to repay, there is no jobs for them. Why? Because AI and the robots have taken away the jobs. So the young people are left to find a job for themselves. And what is the job have they found? A 24/7 job. The young people have created a 24/7 job for themselves. What is this 24/7 job? They're on their phone for the whole day 24/7. The young people are on their phone. And even right now, the 2-year-old are training. They are training to take up the same 24/7 job because the AI and the robot has taken away the real job. So this is why I'm saying some of the some of some are they're increasing. That is why I am saying that knowledge is decreasing. Right? Now that we have learned of the kind of people that would be preaching this last gospel, let us see where it comes from. This last gospel that the people will be preaching, would be coming from Revelation chapter 18. Let us see what Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1 say concerning that gospel. It said, and
So we see the landscape clearly, a world where purpose seems automated and humanity sidelined, a harvest that appears finished. But this is the divine setup. This emptiness is not the end, it is the preparation. Before the great awakening comes the quiet gathering. Before the second harvest, the first fruit must be brought in. And this is what happens next. This gathered remnant, these first fruits do not exist for themselves. They are anointed with a single world altering task to sound the call. They become the living signal that cuts through the static of Babylon. Their very existence is the proof that the harvest is open and the Lord is still gathering. What we witness now is the turning point from being gathered to becoming the gatherers, from receiving the call to broadcasting it. This is the moment the call goes out.
after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. The fact that he said there is it's another angel, which means there was angel before. And to find out which was the angels before, we go back to Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4. But let us continue to hear what happened in Revelation 18, the message that have to be preached. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So who is Babylon? Who is Babylon? What is Babylon? Babylon is confusion, and that is why verse 4 said it heard another voice calling God's people out of that confusion. So, who will be making this last call? It would be the people that the Lord is still gathering. They are called the first fruit, according to Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4. And so they would be calling the people that will be. And so this first fruit, which is still gathering by the Lord, they will be calling out the second fruit, which is the great multitude. The great multitude is the second fruit that the people will be calling out, because God is still gathering the first fruit. So when the first fruit is being gathered, they will be calling out the balance of God's people, which is the second fruit. The great multitude would be calling them out of Babylon. Remember, the Lord had said, "Other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring in, and they shall be one fold." And this would be the antitype of, of Acts chapter 2, where the disciples, the 120 of them, had gathered and bringing 1,000. But this number that God is still gathering would be a larger number, and they would be calling out the second fruit, which is the great multitude, out of Babylon. The call has been issued. The line has been drawn between the sanctuary and the sprawl. The first fruit is not a closed circle, it is a voice, and its message is clear. Come out of her, my people. This is not a passive hope, it is an active summons. A beacon is lit, a path is being made through the wilderness. The question now echoes from the screen to your spirit. Which harvest do you belong to? Are you among the gathered, learning to sound the call, or are you among the multitude, hearing it for the first time, feeling the chains begin to dust? The gathering continues. The call is ongoing. Your moment to listen and to answer is now.